coolest things about the new WNBA CBA doesn't actually benefit any of the players currently on the court. Instead, it's focused on paying back the women who made the league what it is today. If you followed the marathon negotiations that resulted in this year's collective bargaining agreement between the WNBA and the WNBA Players Association, you've probably heard some pretty big numbers being thrown around. One of which is, of course, the new league minimum, which raises the WNBA minimum salary from $66,079 to $270,000. And of course, there's the new Supermax contract, which will bring us our first $1 million WNBA player in history. But as the league heads into its 30th season, one of the deal points in this CBA actually is focused on benefiting retired players. When this CBA goes into effect, women who played in this league for at least 5 years will receive a new one-time payment. That payment will be based off of how many years they played in the WNBA. Women who played in the league for 5 to 7 years will receive a one-time payment of $30,000. That payment jumps to $50,000 for players who were in the league for 8 to 11 years, and $100,000 for players who were in the league for 12 or more years. While of course it's not what these players would be making if they were still in the league today, these payments do represent something very important, and that is recognition. The WNBA is finally getting the recognition that it deserves after all of these years of playing really great basketball. But the version of the WNBA that we see today wouldn't be possible if it weren't for the women who continued to play despite the fact that they were not receiving that type of payment, recognition, or real chance to show what they were worth. And these one-time payments show that the WNBA Players Association was not only focused on the future of the league, but respecting the pioneers who came before them. Players like Lisa Leslie, who was my childhood favorite player growing up. She played in the league for 12 years and continued to be a face for women's basketball long after she retired. Not only did she win 4 Olympic gold medals, but she was also a 3-time league MVP and took the Sparks to back-to-back championship titles in 2001 and 2002. Oh, and of course, she was the first woman to ever dunk in the WNBA. But we can't talk about the current status of the WNBA without talking about Sheryl Swoopes. Sheryl Swoopes was the very first player to ever be drafted into the WNBA in 1997 when the league started. And at the time, her fame became a big part of what helped build the league from the beginning. Sheryl Swoopes was the very first WNBA player to ever have a signature shoe. And that shoe actually predated the league because it was released in 1995. That was ahead of her going to the Olympics in 1996, where she would win the first of 3 gold medals to her name. And her winning that gold medal and her Nike shoe deal were already a big portion of the star power that helped start the league in 97. And as she helped launch the league, she also helped lead her team to 4 straight WNBA titles. She and the Houston Comets won the first 4 WNBA championships from 1997 to 2000, all back-to-back. So as we celebrate a new draft class coming into this league on April 13th, and we watch a lot of those players currently compete in March Madness, I also hope you'll take some time to celebrate the women that this league was built on, the same way that the WNBA Players Association went out of their way to recognize those women as well.